The last time I posted here, I was fresh out of high school and about to start my first year of art college. Now, I've graduated school and have been working as an animator in the industry for over 3 years. I thought it would be fun to show you guys my sketchbooks from my 4 years of art school. You'll get to see my thought process and behind the scenes of my school assignments, as well as personal art and practice sketches. In this video, you'll see my progress from a beginner artist to a professional in the industry. So this sketchbook, I think they gave it to us with the first day of school package that they gave us in my first year. My first year was at Vancouver Film School. It was a 12-month super intensive program, minimum breaks, very, very intense. So I think this sketchbook is going to be mostly filled with my first year work. So this is the first page. It's not great, as you can see. I think I was just starting to learn some anatomy, so I think I have some more construction in there that I wouldn't have had if I hadn't taken a few life drawing classes. I also didn't really have a lot of supplies that I brought with me from China. I had just moved from China to Vancouver for school, and limited luggage space. I did not bring a lot of stuff with me. So I had limited supplies, only graphite pencils and stuff that they gave us in school. So on this page, I've got some gesture drawings. You'll see a bunch of these throughout the sketchbook. And it's essentially just where later on in the year, I just went back through my sketchbook, found some empty pages, and just wanted to do some figure drawing practice to fill up the page. So that's what this is. This next one is definitely just this one. I drew it way too small, and I was like, I'm gonna draw it again. And I can see the construction lines that I'm trying to put in. I didn't really do it correctly, but you know what? I tried. And this was for my Witchtober prompt list that I made in 2018. I made that list because I wanted to get better at inking on Photoshop. So I would sketch some of my witches on paper, because I sometimes find it easier to sketch on paper, to be honest. And then I would just take a photo of it and put it on my laptop and ink it in Photoshop. So this is the next page. Once again, not that great. I feel like I just abandoned this sketch in the middle of doing it. I feel like this was what I was going for. Still, you can see I'm trying to do some construction but I feel like this is what I was going for here, and I kind of just abandoned it because it wasn't going how I wanted. But yeah, this is the next page. What's it called? A 2-point perspective. We were learning how to do landscapes and stuff, and we were learning about perspective, and we had to go out and find perspective places with. We had to go out and find places to draw. I think we had to take a photo of this and submit it, but I'm already seeing I got distracted by this should be going to another vanishing point too, up here, from here to here. I don't know why I only have one down there. I feel like I was just faking it till I make it. I didn't really understand what was going on. So this is another gesture drawing, another abandoned sketch. I feel like this sketch I did end up finishing in Photoshop again for my Witchtober thing. I'll see if I can find the finished image. But here's another gesture drawing that I did. So this is definitely later in the year. Some Spider-Verse sketches, because I watched it in my first year. It came out in 2018, and I was freaking obsessed with it. It was the best movie I'd ever seen. Still one of my favorite movies. I literally cried after the movie because it was so good that I didn't know what to do. So I did some Gwen sketches, some hand practice. I'm not sure why I did that, but these hands, I wouldn't draw it like this now for sure. I'm glad to see that I do have some improvement, which you'll see later on in the sketchbooks. More hand sketches. I feel like this is during Christmas break when I was working on my portfolio. I was trying to get into Sheridan. Spoiler alert, I didn't get in. Some corgi sketches, because I do love corgis. This is Catriona Gray. She won Miss Universe. I'm from the Philippines. I'm Filipino Chinese. So I was very, very excited when Miss Philippines won Miss Universe, and I ended up making this into like a digital painting as well. More figure drawings, some random sketches. I feel like that's supposed to be Rapunzel, but these were just like some random doodles that I made. More hand sketches. I don't know what that is. And another hand drawing. This time I tried to shade it a bit, and I don't know, it looks really bad. I try not to shit on my own art, but I'm glad I went to art school because I did not know what I was doing in the beginning. Some more corgi sketches, some more development, like a character turnaround, I guess, of my little corgi character. Oh yeah, I was also developing this like cheerleader character for my Sheridan portfolio. Here are like some poses of her. Another gesture drawing. More corgi sketches. I was obsessed with corgis in my first year of college. I feel like this is like just little poses for the cheerleader character that I was working on earlier. I think I wanted to do like an animation with her or something, just like some poses of her doing like a little cheer. Here's a little sketch of my spider Sona, which I forgot that I made. I feel like I always think like, oh, I never made a spider Sona, but apparently I did. I used to love wearing cropped hoodies and leggings, so of course I had to include that in my spider Sona. Not so much now. If I ever do a drawing of my spider Sona, I'm gonna have to like redesign her entirely. More hands. I'm not sure what, I think I was practicing for my Sheridan portfolio when I was doing all these hands. I feel like that's why I was doing so many. More corgis, of course. This is like the Sheridan character that we had to draw, this one and this one, clown, for like a storyboarding part of the portfolio. I think I was just practicing drawing both of them so I could figure out which one I wanted to use in the portfolio. More corgi sketches. More corgi sketches. More figure drawings. This looks like a hand. I definitely like tried to draw a hand here and I was like, nope, and just like tried to erase it, and then came back to this later on in the year and did some more figure drawings. Hand drawings. This is definitely that hand I tried to draw on the previous page. Look, it's like literally the same thing. This is, I feel like this is like the same one. I feel like this is this one again. Try to draw it here, try to draw it here. I would like to see some more like construction on it, just to like, because it looks like it's made of jelly. Like I don't like the way it looks. More gesture drawing. Another hand drawing. I think we had to do what we had to do in Sheridan for the Sheridan portfolio was like do like a finger pointing about to hit a button and then like having it press the button. So that's what I did here. Figure drawing, figure drawing, figure drawing. Little sketch of Aurora in her Wreck-It Ralph 2 pajama outfit. I still love those outfits so much. I would still like definitely draw them. Some more random gestures. I feel like this was for like some thumbnails I made for the, was it perspective or did it just have to be a landscape? I think it just had to be a landscape, but it was just like pictures, thumbnails for the landscape part of the Sheridan portfolio. More gestures. I tried to like add a face in my style there. It did not turn out that good. More hands. Little thumbnail for a bakery. I feel like this was not done in my first year of college. I feel like I did this like way later, maybe in my second year. Some Tom Holland Spider-Man sketches because I was obsessed with Tom Holland back in 2018. Or maybe this is 2019 now. I feel like this might be 2019. Some gestures, and then you can see these were like chronologically in the sketchbook, and then these blue ones are when I went back and did some more gestures, because these look like how my gestures looked when I first started college. I mean, so do these, but like they've at least improved a little bit more than these. More gestures. More gestures. Oh gosh. More gestures. More corgis. Spider-Man. Some random faces. Maybe I found these on Pinterest. Maybe I made them up. I'm not sure. But it's just some random doodles. More random doodles. These were definitely from Pinterest. I feel like one of my classmates told me like I had same face syndrome and I was so mad. So I wanted to like go and practice some more faces. Some expressions. More random doodles. Another gesture. I don't know what this is. I feel like I wanted this to be like a corgi and I never ended up finishing it. But it was just a little sketch. And then another little sketch. And like I feel like there's some improvement like after the ones like here and stuff. Like I feel like you can see some improvement with this one. Some more sketches. I'm covering this up because there's a drawing on here that I did like maybe late in my second year and it's like a big jump of improvement, so I'll come back to that. These are some face practice that I did, some more face practice, and my final project at VFS I had to like design pack with like characters, environments, story moments, everything, props, because I took concept art in my first year. I did like a cave girl with like her dinosaur friends, and like this guy was the villain of the story. This was like the cave girl's dinosaur friend. Her name's Ivy and this is Axel. Some more like face shape studies, I guess. Like I wanted to do like round faces. Here's a Parasaurolophus eating some plants, some more plant sketches. I really do like these. I like these a lot. I'm covering this side again. Here's a little compy with a tree and some random doodle that I did. Another gesture drawing, a little Ankylosaurus and a Dilophosaurus. I think this is another Carnotaurus, kind of similar. No, I think it's an Allosaurus. It has to be an Allosaurus drawing. Okay, so I'm going to jump real quick to this little sketchbook here because the rest of the stuff in my other one are from like second year. So I'd want to finish like all my first year stuff first. So this is a little sketchbook that I brought with me when I moved to Canada from China. I only brought 2 sketchbooks, this one and like another bigger one. I've got some vehicle sketches in here. I think this was from term 1 at VFS when we were doing vehicles and props. We were learning how to design them. So we had to like do perspective on the vehicles and kind of like draw them the same way we did that like little landscape thing with the 2-point perspective. But like once again, I didn't really like plot out my vanishing points, and I can see like this is not following perspective. It should be like that kind of. So we just like walked around near Canada Place in Vancouver and drew vehicles that we saw. Here's a little school bus, a car. I feel like I just saw this like heli jet thing on the water near Canada Place and I just wanted to draw it. A little weird car that I saw, I remember this. A bus on my way home. And then like I feel like this is part of that like 2-point perspective thing that we did early in that last sketchbook. But this is, we were walking around Canada Place. We had to draw some buildings. Some more buildings. More buildings. Some more buildings. Also, I forgot to say, ignore my freaking nail. I was playing basketball the other day with my boyfriend and his friends, and like I feel like I played a little bit too rough, so I've got a little bruise under my nail there. This is definitely like near VFS. Yeah, that's pretty much it for this one. I didn't do much in it. So let's get back to the other one. So now we're on my second year. Well, for second year, which was like first year in the actual program, but it was my second year of college, I moved to Ottawa, which is like across the country in Canada, and I went to Algonquin College for animation. This is some corgi stuff that I did. More figure drawing, half a freaking head. More figure drawing. This time I tried to add some like Loomis method for the head. Some doodles I did in class. These are like similar to the plants I did for my final project in VFS. More random doodles in class, random unfinished sketch. I feel like it was like, this was like definitely Inktober again, and I want to do Inktober, but this time like ink it in my journal instead of like on Photoshop. So I made another Inktober prompt in 2019, which is when my second year was, and I did this drawing. I feel like I went in with this like way later, like the markers and stuff. It did not have that. It was just like, it looked different when I finished it. But I feel like this was like a first draft of this one, and it didn't really work out. This is like a little drapery thing that I don't remember where I got this from. I'm not sure if it was like VFS or Algonquin, but a little drapery handout I got. Spider-Man and MJ. The other day I was flipping through my sketchbook and my boyfriend was like, what the hell? He thought I drew myself with Spider-Man. But no, this is MJ. It's supposed to be Zendaya, and it doesn't look like her, I know. But this is another Inktober piece. Another Inktober piece. Definitely was having fun with these. More figure drawings. Some random sketch in the middle of the figure drawing. This is for a draw this in your style. I did the sketch here, and if you haven't noticed, I've been doing like my sketches in these couple pages in Coal Erase because I found out about Coal Erase in my last term of VFS, and I was obsessed with them. I love the way they look, so I was doing all of my sketches using Coal Erase. So Coal Erase sketch, I took a photo of it and colored it on Photoshop. So this is another sketch that I colored in Photoshop. These are my characters from my final project in VFS in my first year. The little cave girl, her name's Amber, and her Pachycephalosaurus, Ivy. I watched the second Maleficent movie and drew Aurora in her wedding dress. I also took a photo of this and colored it in Photoshop. Another drawing that I colored in Photoshop. I think it was Draw This in Your Style as well. Drawing of Meg, I also ended up coloring this in Photoshop. Some random doodles, figure drawing. Random little dinosaur, me at the museum. I went to the museum in Ottawa, and I think it was my first time ever seeing dinosaurs, like dinosaur fossils in real life, and I was so excited. I love dinosaurs so much, and this was just like, oh gosh, there's the hair. This is just like my little drawing of me with the dinosaur. Another drawing that I ended up coloring in Photoshop. I used to do that a lot because like I didn't have things like colored pencils and markers and stuff, so like my only way of pretty much like coloring my sketches was to color it in Photoshop. So that's why I kept doing that. Corgi sketches. This, I had an argument with a friend because he was saying like digital drawing is easier than traditional, and I was like, no, I love rendering hair way more traditionally. So I like just showed him, and it was like Audrey Hepburn's hair. And then this is like some timing and spacing stuff that I learned in animation class, like slowing in, slowing out into the stretched blocks. Another Draw This in Your Style that I colored in Photoshop. Figure drawing, figure drawing. Figure drawing. This was my own Draw This in Your Style because it was the new year happened. It was 2020, and I wanted to do like a 20s inspired Draw This in Your Style. So I did like a little 20s flapper girl. Random doodles, rendering a lot of my hair. I feel like this is like a redraw of an old drawing that I did. I don't know if I plan to like, I'm not sure if I ended up coloring this on Photoshop. I think I did, but I might be wrong. Drawing of Ricky and Nini, which is like Olivia Rodrigo and Joshua Bassett from High School Musical, the musical series. Elsa and the Knock from Frozen 2. Elsa and Anna from Frozen 2. This is awful. What the heck? I am so sorry. I don't like that. Figure drawing, figure drawing. Figure drawing. Oh, feel like I also thought it was awful back then because like I redrew it and it looked a little better, but still not super great. And then this is a screen cap redraw of Laura Jean and Peter from To All the Boys, the second movie. They go out for dinner and she's like, oh my gosh, I've never been a girlfriend before. I rewatched that with my boyfriend the other week for Valentine's Day. Figure drawing, some more Joshua Bassett from High School Musical, the musical series. I think it's supposed to be Hermione, but it was from like Inktober. I feel like I had like gone to the wrong page in my sketchbook and just like drew this. It was for Inktober. I wanted to do some like perspective and also just like practice my inking. More Joshua Bassett, more figure drawing. I think this must be like after my second year of college / first year of Algonquin animation was over, because I think this is my landlord's cat. His name was Simba and I loved him so much. He used to come to my room all the time. More Simba, some random doodles. Okay. I wanted to take a break again from that sketchbook and show you this one, because this one was the sketchbook that came with my first day of school package in Algonquin when I started to go to school there. So first page is just like some notes. I feel like I didn't have a notebook at first on my first day, or like first week of class or something, so I just like did some notes there. It's just animation principles, stuff like that. I don't know what that is. Gesture, some design notes about like 1-point perspective and 2-point perspective. I feel like we had to draw this, like there's like a picture that we had to draw and we had to draw it upside down. Don't really remember exactly what the exercise was. So my friend in life drawing class, I was just like doodling. And then this is for an assignment we had to do, our first design assignment, which, oh my gosh, we learned perspective in VFS, but it was way more intense at Algonquin, way more strict. It was very, like, silhouettes were very important. We couldn't have just like a box for buildings and stuff, like a box on a box. We had to have like interesting shapes. So this is me exploring some silhouettes for the buildings that I wanted to do for my skyscraper project. These are some thumbnails for like ideas of skyscrapers that I wanted to do. Very, very early concepts, some more concepts where I'm starting to like warm up a bit more, get some more better designs. I don't know why I have like math in the corner over there. But like I was trying to come up with like wacky ass like building designs for like to make it more interesting, because that's what our teacher wanted. More building thumbnails, and gestures, obviously. Some thumbnails for like the actual composition of the piece. We had to do like a shorter building and like a taller building next to it. So these were like, I was putting some of my designs, like plugging it into the composition, seeing how it would look, just like trying out different thumbnails. These are like some more building designs. Gosh, what is that? That's a box on a box on a box. I don't know why I have that there. I think this is one of the designs I ended up going with. I think this one and this one, I think, is what I ended up going with. Or this one. Wait, I'm not sure anymore. Did I even go with this one? I feel like I did. This one and this one, maybe. Gestures from life drawing class. Gestures. Some more thumbnails. And window practice, because my prof really wanted us to put like detailed, super detailed window structure in our assignment. And this is for Enviro class, where we had to go to the school garden and like draw some plants there. Some like life drawing, warming up stuff. Some more Enviro, tree, texture. Can't really see it. Some leaves from Enviro. First, I was like, what is this? What is this? But it's like a bush that I drew. And we had to do like like size relation type thing. Another little bush. Another bush for Enviro. A little plant. A leaf I didn't finish drawing. I think it's this one. It's got like a really, really cool texture to it. Super detailed. I feel like this is another Enviro thing, like it's just some notes and a little dinosaur doodle. And then this was just a thumbnail for like, we had to do a skate park in design for our next assignment. Do a skate park and then like have, I think, 9 buildings around it. So then here's some notes of my revisions for the assignment, and then thumbnail, some sketches for like designs of the buildings. I feel like I kind of just like took some designs from like my last thumbnails and then added those into some more designs. I was so scared for this assignment because I was like, damn, like if I was struggling drawing 2 buildings, like 9 buildings is gonna be insane. But it wasn't that bad. So some more sketches. This was like, I think we had to do 4 thumbnails and then like show it to him. He picked one. And I think this was the first assignment that we actually had to do like thumbnails. We were allowed to do more, but I think like I was so tired after 4. I was like, I am not doing more. Tried to do another one, but I don't think I should try to do an indoor one. That's what I tried to do. I think you could either do an indoor one or like an outdoor one, but the indoor one had more like requirements and stuff. Another gesture, more gestures. I feel like this is using like a China marker. Oh, this is for Enviro. I think we had to like do a door drawing, measure the door, have like a size relationship, draw a doorknob or door handle, door hinge, and then like the structure of the doorway. And this one was just like a door. I feel like it's upside down like this. In perspective, and then some windows that we had to do for Enviro as well. Same thing, in perspective, and lots of structure in that. This was like a rough sketch I did when our professor took us down. There's this building where there's like a wall that's like opened and you could see like the drywall and the layers within it. So he took us to look at that, and I just like took notes really quickly while we're standing there. And that was because we were doing this assignment. This is a thumbnail for that assignment where we kind of did like a Kool-Aid man thing, but with the shape of our choice. And of course I picked a dinosaur. But I'll show you what that assignment ended up looking like. Another gesture. I think that's a window handle. Gesture. Maybe like a window pane, I think here. I'm not sure. I don't know why I drew this kettle. This is some barn thumbnails for this like barn assignment we had to do in Enviro. Some barn ideas. Barn window ideas. This was my barn thumbnail. Oh, I think this is the barn. This is the finished barn thumbnail. This is the one that got approved. So I have some more like foreground elements, some background elements, like a path leading up to the barn. Little size reference. These are some flour sacks. I feel like this is for an assignment, like the flour sack assignment. Either like this one that we did where it was like 2 flour sacks like jumping down the stairs, or I don't know if it was like the flour sack and boat assignment. I feel like these were like my thumbnails for the flour sack, like looking towards the big flour sack and then like settling down. And then in character design class, I don't remember what the assignment was, but I definitely like wanted to do a Dilophosaurus. And it's like a little Dilophosaurus, and I made her a little figure skater. She's a little figure skater character. But definitely I could have pushed her design more. Oh, and then this is like her if she was a ballerina, figure skater. Could have definitely pushed her proportions, like made her a bit more interesting. Dilophosaurus, tried to like push her eyes, make it more stylized. But like at this point, I was still figuring out my style. So I was still leaning towards realism whenever I do drawings for myself. Oh, and this is for like the stairs assignment that we had to do in the second semester. We had to do like a foyer with stairs because we needed to learn how to do like a plane going upwards, like tilting upwards in perspective. So that's why we did the stairs. It was actually pretty fun. So these are some newel post designs, some spindles for the stairs, some table designs for the foyer. These are for like my thumbnails and stuff. Some lamp designs. And then these are some, I think, character design class. We were exploring different face shapes and whatnot. Very useful. I definitely recommend doing this. Like square shapes, circle shapes, triangles. Like definitely recommend doing this because it's a good way to like push your design, like triangle shapes here. Good way to push your design and kind of like not make it so generic looking. And then this was like a character design assignment we had to do. I did Filipino mythology. That's a manananggal, and this is like a girl who like has some dead parents. She like likes to spend time at the graveyard, and this manananggal is always like watching her and like wants to eat her, I guess. I didn't really flesh out the story that well, but these are my designs I did for that. Oh, and then this is the flour sack and the boat assignment. So I was just practicing drawing the flour sack design and the boat design that we were given. Ooh, and then this assignment was fun. This was my thumbnail for the forest layout that we had to do. Oh my gosh, I literally forgot the word layout this entire time in this video. I kept saying like landscape design, whatever. I haven't done many backgrounds since graduating because I've just been an animator, so like layout is not really in my vocabulary anymore. But this was our forest layout, and this was my thumbnail for that. And like we didn't really have to do and didn't have to submit a thumbnail, but what we had to do was like submit a bunch of like tree drawings, rock drawings, bush drawings, and get those approved so that we could start on our rough. And then this was in character design class. I had a fun time doing these. This was like contour drawings, but without looking at your page. I remember like she would put a picture on the screen and we would like draw without looking at our page, and like the pictures that we came up with and my classmates came up with and my friend came up with, I was crying laughing in this class. Like I remember it was so good. It was so funny. Such a fun time before COVID. Oh, and then this, I think, we were working on our final animation. I don't know if it was our final. It may have been like one of our last ones before COVID hit. We all had to start with like this little ink splot looking thing, and we had to make an animation from it and then go back to the ink splot. So I wanted to do something dinosaur related, of course. I was like coming up with some ideas, and here I decided to like go with a dinosaur going to the gym. Well, like before COVID shut everything down, I did end up finishing my rough. I didn't end up like cleaning it on paper. So yeah, it's like a little dinosaur struggling at the gym, and he's like struggling to like get the barbell. But yeah, it was a fun assignment, and I don't think we ended up getting graded for it, but I had fun with it. And that's the end of this one. When summer break started, like COVID had just started, first of all, and I had never had such a long summer break. Like when in high school and stuff, I feel like my summer break would only be like less than 2 months, and in VFS, since it was like a 12-month intensive program, we didn't really have breaks. I feel like our longest breaks were like 1 week, maybe. This was my first time where I had like no assignments to do, It was COVID, I was home all the time, and I drew a lot. It was like 4 months and I didn't know what to do, so I just drew and drew and drew. I wanted to redesign my cave girl character from my last term at VFS. So these are some like face explorations that I did for her. I wanted to make her face more interesting. I feel like the original design was kind of just like too boring, and like even my teacher there kind of told me that, like he was like, oh, you need to make her face more interesting, and I'm like, but like I want her to look pretty. But I wanted to push her design, make her the facial proportions more interesting. I ended up going with this one, and I can tell this is like I took this drawing and like I had cleaned it on Photoshop along with the dinosaur. Some more exploration sketches of her, and here are some thumbnails. This one is for a koi fish mermaid drawing that I did. I wanted to do like a thumbnail for the background. This one is a thumbnail for a bakery that I still haven't done. I feel like I saw another one earlier in the sketchbook where like I think I went back and like did another bakery iteration on there. These are some sketches that I did where I asked my followers on Instagram like, what should I sketch? And I just like did some random sketches, some more figure drawings. I think I ended up trying to flesh this one out to like a little fairy character type, nymph type thing. Some more sketch requests. I feel like I'm starting to see some more growth. There's some more sketch requests from my followers on Instagram. I was just so bored. I went outside and just like walked around, drew like this area near my house and some trees, I guess. I drew this picture of Jasmine, and I definitely colored this one. I remember doing this one on Photoshop. Some more sketch requests. I feel like I'm seeing some more improvement here now. Sketch requests, some more bakery thumbnails, and gesture drawing. So now I'm going back to the sketches that I covered earlier. This is another follower sketch request from Instagram, and then another bakery thumbnail that I didn't end up finishing. These are some sketches of my cat. I ended up coloring these on Photoshop. And some more follower sketch requests of a dog and Cinderella. I love her dress in the 2015 live action. I'm still obsessed with it. I still like the sketch. Like there are like a couple little tweaks I might make, but overall I still really like it. But do you see what I mean about like the jump between from this one? This is definitely from my first year of college in VFS, and then this one is from the summer after my second year of college. Big jump. So this next sketchbook is a sketchbook I started in my second year at Algonquin. It's the same kind of sketchbook as the very first one that I got at VFS, because I do like the sketchbook a lot. I haven't finished the sketchbook yet, so this has got my second and third year stuff in it. So starts with some gestures, of course. I feel like when I first started second year at Algonquin, it's my third year of college, but I still wasn't getting the hang of gestures. And first day of class, I remember like doing some gestures and I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm so rusty. And then like going into my sketchbook and like immediately doing some sketches, and I was like trying to do some gestures like every day before class and like before starting on my assignments. But it kind of like stays like this for about a month just here in my sketchbook, and then Inktober starts and I made another prompt list. I think I did like a Pinktober prompt list, so I only used pink, and I finally got some alcohol markers, so I'm finally working with some color in my sketchbooks. It was a very limited amount of alcohol markers. Like I definitely only got like this like grayish beige color and then some like different shades of pink, but it was still like more than I had done in a while. So this is my first Inktober drawing for 2020. Another gesture. Inktober. This is I oh crap, what's her name? Chang'e from the Moon Festival myth in China. I always loved that myth, so I always wanted to draw her, and like this is her with her bunny and like the moon, of course. This is a girl with a mask for Inktober. Little fairy for Inktober. And then there's like bleed through on all of them, so like of course I didn't touch this page, you know. Gesture. Inktober sketch. Another Inktober sketch. Tried to do some like different things with their hair. And this was like the girl that I did like a 30K draw this in your style in August, and I think like it ended on the day I did this Inktober, so like I drew her again for that Inktober day. My landlord's cat. Another Inktober. It was a collab with a brand. I was like, why is this empty? But it's got like a very faint like sketch. I don't know if you can see, but it was like definitely erased, and it was definitely just like a first try at what became this. This was like a collab I did with Studio. It's an earbuds brand. I still use their earbuds all the time. It's also for Inktober. Oh, and then here are some thumbnails for our first design assignment in second year at Algonquin. It was a room of personality, so I did like Marie Antoinette, and then I did the rest of my thumbnails on Photoshop, and it did end up getting picked. So I did do Marie Antoinette's bedroom for my room of personality. More gestures, more gestures, more gestures, gestures, gestures. Like I said, I was doing practice every day before class. And then a little drawing of Axel. My little drawing of Axel. My Carnotaurus from my VFS final project. Look at him, he's so cute. Gesture. Marie Antoinette, because I was so inspired by my room of personality. And then like the last Inktober of that year. I didn't end up doing all of them because I got so busy with that room of personality. As you can see, like it was very, very detailed and took a lot of time. So more gestures. And then this is for our next design assignment. We had to do like a 3-point layout, and these are some ideas I had. I don't know if you can hear, but like my neighbors, like I have some new neighbors, and they're like pretty loud, but they're like kind of yelling in the hallway right now, like the mom, dad, and a kid. I don't know. Anyway, these are my ideas for like a haunted house on a hill, and I wanted it to be like looking up at the house, like kind of more menacing, and like these are my ideas for the house. But then I was also like very scared to just like do one main building and like a little building. I don't know, like it was too risky for me. Like I feel like my professor would have called me out on being lazy or something. This is another upshot, but it's Venice, and it's based on one of the pictures that my dad took when we went to Venice back in like 2010, 2011. And then this was my favorite thumbnail. I really, really wish that he picked this one, but it's a down shot. It's a little western town. I love it so much. It got a little saloon and like a hotel, and like I love it. I really want to like flesh this one out and like actually make a whole like clean and like paint it and everything at some point. I really wish that he picked it. All my classmates loved it too, and like my prof didn't pick it. Another little medieval one. I don't know if I ended up adding this to my thumbnails that I made, but like I didn't really want to add it in. And then this is like an unfinished thumbnail. Ended up looking like this. It's a Victorian town, but this ended up being the one getting picked. And Victorian houses, I should not have done this. I should have stuck with medieval, because oh my gosh, they are so hard to draw. I was struggling the whole time, and like I had multiple meltdowns during this assignment. Yeah, it was not a fun time. Like I feel like that was probably like the most depressing assignment I ever had, just because Victorian houses are so hard to draw, but like my professor really wanted to pick that one. And then this is like the character we have to animate in Toon Boom Harmony. So I was just like this was my pose in one of my references that I took, and like I was just trying to like replicate it on the character. And then in life drawing, my teacher had us draw like some hands from like a reference that he had. And then this is some more hand practice. I think this is Sophie Scribbles, Draw This in Your Style. I colored it in Photoshop again. And then for our first assignment of the second semester in second year, we could either do like a panoramic layout or we could do a caricature. And I ended up picking the caricature, but I did want to do like the pan layout in my own time, and I didn't really get to. So I have this like little thumbnail with nothing on it, but like I do want to do it at some point. I don't know if I ever will have the time. Our next assignment in design after the caricature was an inanimate object character design. So I was like brainstorming, coming up with some characters, and then ignore these. Like this is when I got my Ohuhu markers like the other month, and I was just like swatching them everywhere, trying to see how they blend, like trying to like figure out my drawing. Have some like roller skates, wheelbarrows, like variations of the wheelbarrows, and then like eyelash curler. She's super fun. My teacher ended up picking this. I don't know why he picked it, but this ended up being my character that I did. Some other ideas. Oh, and then these are just this is a random doodle, but these were for like the summer between second year at Algonquin and third year at Algonquin. Someone from Algonquin reached out and just like asked if I would be able to do like a live drawing on a Zoom event, and they wanted it to be about like the what was it? It was like the like how many, like 20 something sustainability something. I don't remember what it was, but like I had the idea of doing a little symbol for each thing, each sustainability thing, and like these are all like the symbols, right? Like, but I had the idea to put all of these and like a person walking towards a happy earth, and I had all the symbols like around next to the path. So that was fun. It was very daunting because it was my first time ever drawing for a live event like that and like getting paid for it. And then here are some Rapunzel sketches. Hands. Luca sketch in the summer of 2021 because that's when Luca came out and it was really popular. Feet sketches. Still not great. I feel like I'm seeing some improvement from like my first year at VFS, but like still kind of looking like jelly. And then this is like thumbnails for an animation I wanted to do with Amber, my cave girl character. Never ended up finishing it, but I do want to animate her at some point. I'm covering this because it's like, once again, something that I did later on in the year that I want to go back to. But summer 2021, my friend and I went out. I brought some of my markers and like did a little drawing of a tree. You can see on the back the bleed through. This is like some Ohuhu marker stuff I did just like last month or something, but it was just like working in like the scrap parts of this page. Like I was trying to figure out the colors and like the background that I wanted to do for it, but this is not in my college years. Little fairy I drew, covering this again because again it's something I did later. This is the start of third year in Algonquin, so my fourth year in total of college. We had to do our first live drawing assignment was like drawing some animals from the live cams. Some more elephants. Another panda. Some hand sketches, some more animals. Hands, animals. And I wanted to draw my cat as some of them too. Hands, animals. I feel like these are from like later on in third year, so maybe I shouldn't be showing these right now. Hands. I feel like this is like a bit later in third year. I had gotten a job in like the first semester of third year at a studio, my first job in the industry. It was for animating for solar opposites. I still had to go to life drawing class in school, and one of our life drawing days we had to like pick a male cartoon character and draw him in the poses that the model did for us. So this was me practicing with the male character I picked, which was Milo from Atlantis. More Milo. The only Inktober piece I did. I guess this wasn't, I don't know if this was from like before or after I got my job, because I got my job in November of 2021 and this was in October. So maybe this was, I had like gone back and done it there, but I don't know. I'm not sure. So I'll tell you why I drew Rapunzel here. So this was a similar assignment to the Milo assignment where we picked like a female cartoon character and drew them in the poses that the model did that day. So this is me practicing like Rapunzel, and then like here practicing her like expressions and faces and poses that she already had, and here too, same here, just like referencing concept art and whatnot. And then this is me practicing poses from online before class, just like getting a feel of the character. I like this one a lot. I don't like this one. Taking a break from that one for a little bit to show you some like personal work that I did in this sketchbook. I got this sketchbook during my time at VFS, but I only started drawing in it in my final year of college at Algonquin, which is when I got my gouache set from ArtX. So these are like some swatches that I did using the paints. This is like without water and with water, just to know how it looks. And then I was using like the excess paint on like the peel off cap things. Like there was a lot of excess paint. Didn't want to just throw it away, so I just like really quickly did this just as a test, and like I actually really like how it looks, especially since it took me like maybe an hour or less. But like the problem with this like paper, it kind of like doesn't take the water very well. Same with this one, using like the excess paint on the caps, on the lids. And then this is one that I would work on like after my job in the studio while I was a student, so I would just like work on this after work every day. I still really like this painting, but the paper definitely isn't suitable for gouache because it definitely wrinkles a lot. But I'm super excited to finish the rest of the sketchbook, and let me know what I should draw in it. Some thumbnails for my scene in Solar Opposites, the first scene I did, which I was very nervous about. Random doodle. I used to do life drawing online with my friend. Like we'd call every week and just like do gestures together. Sometimes we would drink a little bit, but this was like done when we were drinking. So one of our assignments in life drawing in the second semester of third year was to do 50 hands and 50 feet. So these were some of the feet that I drew, and as you can see, it's getting a bit more structured, less jelly looking. Like I love this one. This is one of my favorite ones for sure. Loomis method head. That looks kind of scary. A hand. Like if you compare this with the hands that I drew in my like VFS sketchbook, like this is all a big jump, I would say. Like a pretty big improvement. Same with the feet. This is one of my favorite feet that I did. More feet, more hands, feet. I think this is like either at the very end of third year or right after third year. I'm not sure. Like right after I graduated. These are just some random sketches I did. And then some sketches from Elite, the TV show. I love that show. I haven't seen any of like the newer seasons, but I used to watch it all the time with my friend. And then this was like in a different sketchbook. I'm not sure which sketchbook, but I drew like Annabeth. I was gonna draw Percy, and then like my roommate's mom's dog. Thank you guys so much for watching. I know that was a really long one. If you made it all the way to the end, oh my gosh, thank you so much. If you liked this video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe for more content like this. Bye!